Okay, y'all, I've tried twice now, and Hocus Pocus 2 is just not for me. Like, okay, I watched it last year. I think it was last year when it first came out, and it was all nostalgic. I was like, okay, this is different. This is new. I gotta grow into it. But Heidi Ho, we're here on Halloween. It's time again to watch it, and I'm just like, this is kind of a mess. And that really sucks because you have this entire setup for a good story, but I don't know where the fuck it went. But in case you haven't seen it, let me sum it up for you. So when they first came back in 1993, there was a kid who was trick-or-treating who saw them, flying around and then followed them throughout the graveyard when they, poofed into pretty sparkles. And he's like, I need to bring them back. And then he gets obsessed with magic and opens a magic/joke shop, I guess, in what I think was their little village house. And he's been using these two little girls in town who've been practicing magic because obviously you need a virgin to light the candle. So obviously once they come back, they want the souls of children so that they can be beautiful forever. And that quickly changes because they find out that the mayor of Salem now is the kinfolk of the reverend that had them kicked out for being witches back in the 1600s. And they can't even do that because the two little girls who summoned them are also witches. And what kills me about the whole thing is that it's a decent setup. The whole idea behind it would be really cool, but instead of giving it a decent script, all you did was drag lines from the first one and into the second one. Thanks for that. Half of your audience is over the age of 30 and have seen the first one. We don't need reminding. But as I was sitting here thinking about it, I think I solved the problem for most live-action Disney movies, and unfortunately this one suffers from the same thing. You know how there's kind of a difference between stage acting and film acting? On stage where your emotions have to be extremely overexerted because from far away you can't see their faces. Lines are very enunciated, things like that. Why do 90% of their live action movies do this? We have close up on your face. We don't need you to go all out. And then you run into the problem of really bad CGI throughout this. And I understand in the first one, 1993, obviously it has bad CGI too, but me personally, I feel like shooting movies on film back in the day was like the original filter over bad CGI. It just kind of lightens everything, it blends it, so it doesn't look quite so bad. Hocus Pocus 2, however, was shot digitally, and it takes away from that, I want to call it a filter. So now everything is ultra high def, and it looks pretty, but it makes the bad CGI really stand out, and it doesn't do it any favors. I, however, laughed my ass at the Walgreens scene. It's a 4 out of 10 for me, but I'll be right back with the first movie. Don't worry, all I'll do is fangirl. Okay, bye.